All right. It's 10:32. So, um, I just want y'all to see my face at the beginning of the video, so I gotta turn the light off now. Ooh, me turning off the light is saving me more. It's saving me more phone data. So here's a continuation. Here's a continuation of Here's the continuation of the previous video. So I mean, I was just trying to check to see how much storage space I have on my phone. I also did a video today filming the chemtrails. Like, it was really bad today. And I'm wondering if that can affect your sleep as well. And block, they block out the sun and stuff like that. So to continue, I had cuz I was talking to someone on the phone who's, supposedly another targeted individual who has now betrayed and turned against me. And he got hit by a car. And like, I had just got off the phone with him, and then I knew I had to go to my storage unit a few days later to try to go pay my storage bill. And I just was shuddered. I shuddered at the unwanted intrusive thought about if that would have happened to me, because I had on video footage, like, when I would be walking to my storage unit. I had so many I had footage of twice of my gang stalking perp walks, and that was why I would do the gang stalking perp walks, for my safety. And so many cars were trying to run over me, and I had two, and I went and confronted a couple of those, like, hey, why'd you try to run? I know why they were trying to run over me. And so they were intentionally trying to run over me, in the Walmart parking lot or something like that. And I have that video private now, but I have to go back and find it. The video where the guy said insurance fraud is a hell of a thing. When I confront him, hey, why'd you try to? They delayed my phone, so I had him in the act of intentionally trying to run over me, and they manipulated and delayed my phone, where they cut out the part where he was actually trying to run over me, and the phone only picked up the aftermath. And he said insurance fraud is a hell of a thing, huh? And so I got a lot of thumbs down on that video. But I wish that they wouldn't have delayed my phone, so y'all could have seen him deliberately trying to run over me with the doggone cars. I mean, with his doggone car. And then he drove off laughing, saying, insurance fraud is a hell of a thing, isn't it? So, and he was bragging and laughing about that. So, I mean, they're out here, especially us black targeted individuals, trying to make us out here to look crazy. Well, black and white, whatever race they try to make you look crazy, but they're really out here trying to kill us niggas, us black folks. They're really trying to kill us. And black folks trying to kill. That's why I did the video talking about black folks sacrificing their family members, like selling hotcakes. Like, it's happening a lot for money and insurance. So, black folks out here, our own kind, betraying us, selling us out, and doing us in. Human traffic your own black relative. How could you do that to somebody you gave birth to? I'm not talking about my biological mom, but I'm talking about a lot of Masonic black mothers pimping their daughters, selling their daughters to grown men, and getting a lot of incentives for it. And then the young black girls are called loose, fast, slutty, promiscuous, need to be watched. And then next thing you know, or they call hot or easy, easy lay, easy prey. And then next thing you know, the girls grow up to be bitter and resent their mothers for like exploiting them for money. Girls grow up to hate their moms. But guess what? I wanted to say earlier when I was talking, um, when I was talking about the video about trying to prepare for in biblical end times. I was speaking truth enough that they prematurely um hogged up. They hacked in and hogged up my phone space, so I couldn't speak no more at the moment about the trying to prepare for biblical end times and stuff like that. So they prematurely hogged up my phone and prematurely made it like as if I used up my storage space when I didn't. And then after they cut me off, that's when they try to say that, put that signal on my phone like as if my storage space was used up. And then next thing you know, um, after the video was over, and after the video was over, then they try to make it like, okay, you can, like, okay, you can talk now, or you got space now on your phone. So if I was a liar and a fraud and everything, why they keep trying to shut me up? Why they keep trying to silence me? And one more thing, like, okay, that's why I don't listen to narcissistic abusers anymore trying to tell me what to do. Like that lady, Miss Samantha, tried to suggest that I go live in Jacksonville, Florida. I told her straight up, I don't want to go live in Jacksonville, Florida. And so, if I would have moved to Jacksonville, Florida, and then secured me a place, and then, you know, and then what happened about us having a falling out, I probably would have went crazy and had like an emotional, like serious meltdown, listening to her. So now we're not on speaking terms anymore, and we're not talking anymore. And so I want to say I'm glad I didn't listen to her, but she tried to dictate where I should live and try to order me around and tell me what to do and tell me about, tell me, trying to control my life and stuff. And she would always victim blame if I told her about a crisis. Like when all my stuff got stolen, she yelled at me and blamed me. And I begged her, please don't do that to me. I'm emotionally weak and fragile state of mind. And one thing you don't do to a friend is victim blame. Like fake ass phony and other so-called targeted individuals, that Tony H fake T.I. perp and other so-called targeted individuals have like when I lost my Sky Zone job, they berated and condemned me. And that was me and Tony H, we had the falling out in the argument in May because she threw that in my face. Like, cause I told her I was about to get a job back again at YMCA. I think it was, and she berated and like being 14 years younger than me and berated and condemned me about berated and condemned me about learning my lesson forever. Telling people where I didn't tell anybody that I worked at Sky Zone. But they figured that when me being on Twitter and I followed them and on Twitter, but I didn't tell on YouTube, but I showed a couple of videos, but so it's like the stalkers were stalking me, and that's why I'm forced to make my Twitter private because they kept trying to falsely report all my tweets and trying to get my Twitter taken down. And me being wrongfully suspended on Twitter and stuff like that. So I had to be forced to lock my tweets in order to save my account. And so the perp Star Bricker would talk about how I deserve to get murdered, or how I deserve to get shot and killed, or I deserve to get beat up. And she think she got control over and authority over me when she believes a lot of false beliefs. She hardcore embraces the New World Order agendas. She's in a cult. And she's a total devil. A total demon. Wicked as fuck. Very wicked. And she's one of the main people who lie and say, well, I try to care about Candy, or I try to be there for her. And she plays all kinds of psychological games too. Won't respect my wishes. Won't respect my privacy. Will not leave me alone. Harassing me daily. Stalking me daily. Worse than Alex Dupree, but online. And interfering with my life in person. All these people who want to keep up with you and stalk, follow, and harass you. And it's narcissistic to do victim blaming. Like, if you're supposed to be a friend, you're supposed to be there and be non-judgmental and be supportive of that friend, rather than when they're in a crisis, you berate and condemn that person and kick them down. When I was in Greenville, South Carolina, I had a narcissistic control freak fake friend named Regina Bunting, and she had a gay son named Tyreek. And Tyreek, come to think of it, Tyreek was a perp. And he was a 13-year-old gay boy who thought that he was overgrown. Like you're a 13-year-old boy who act like you think that you're a grown woman. And Miss Regina would hide behind Christianity also. And she would try to use me and take advantage of my money and stuff like that. And then, if she was, the type that if I had a crisis and I told her about it, then, she would kick me down even more, or kick me down even harder, and do victim blaming. Like, if somebody stole from you, it ain't your fault, or they try to tell you what you should have done, or if you if somebody violated you in some way, you shouldn't have to be berated and screamed at, or like if you got raped, or if you got somebody stole your stuff or stole your money, or somebody just did you some form of injustice, and then you have to hear being berated. Those aren't friends who do that to you. And then they want to lie and say that, oh, we just looking out for you, or we doing it for your best interest, or we doing it because we care about you and stuff like that. Nah, because you sit there and trying to make, it's like I had to pay mental health counselors to dog, and I was paying mental health counselors, and they have treated me like this, and I go out of the counseling office feeling worse than when I came in. And I'm paying mental health counselors to blame me for my problems and blame me for my suffering. Like, say if I got raped, the mental health counselor would blame me and then turn around and say, well, you have to take responsibility for your actions. I never dressed like a slut. Wearing a hoodie and sweatpants and still get raped and then get blamed. So, these people ain't friends. And I was being bullied, online earlier this year. And that was one of the reasons why I started to pick up, feeling depressed and eating not a bunch of ice cream, but eating ice cream just about every day. Feeling depressed. So, and I still gotta break that habit. I didn't have ice cream today, but I had like a half a piece of cake, and I felt guilty about that. So, I mean, even other targets ain't got your back. Even other targeted individuals ain't got your back. They do not have your back. So, it's just very, mind-boggling and shocking that targets are all out for themselves and not supportive of others, unless you're one of the popular fakes, and they all, commit idol worship towards each other. All the popular fakes, they all idolize each other, and so, treat each other like celebrities. So, kicked out of even the so-called targeted individual community. I'm no longer listed on the surveillancesurvivors.org website. I mean, it seems like as if Shayla Avance made sure that there was no trace of me left on her website. And she's one of the popular fake T.I. perp bullies. And, I heard about Karen Melton Stewart and fraudster Catherine Horton and Romola D. Reports and all them, Meigs B, all them being fake and exploitative. Targeted justice is a CIA front I've been hearing. And people wondering, like, oh, they just all talk and pretending to be there for targets. And they're just, fronts for real targets suffering. And only they are allowed to have a voice in us real targets suffering. When people try to lie and say, oh, you're too valuable to for like for like they try to make it like, oh, they want to make you think that the gang stalkers are trying to kill you. But we're too valuable. We are too valuable. They'll say we're too valuable for the gang stalkers to try to kill us. Well, why the hell they kill you off for insurance money and sacrifice you, and then get like your own black relatives sacrifice you and then get insurance money, and they rubbing their hands together waiting for that insurance money once you're dead. So and then other black people would talk about, you know, how can another black person talk about, we'll be glad to get rid of your black ass. Coming from another black person telling me something like this. You know? and so it's like they really, I mean, and I think that's why I started to get scared when nobody wanted to help me trying to stay safe in a hotel room out of a hurricane. And then they try to make it like I'm being picky and need to be grateful to the first room offered to me. They had a whole damn air conditioner that was pulled out of the wall, and it's like somebody could have slipped anything under that under there, or somebody could have come under there, and anything could have happened to me. But the perps act like as if they're ready for me to die, like they really want me to die. So they've left me in situations where they left me afraid that, damn, I didn't get to have a hotel room for Hurricane Ida, and Hurricane Ida affected Pensacola not as badly as New Orleans, but they got us too. And I'm like, damn, me being outside during a hurricane is scary as fuck. A strong wind. And be forced to be outside during hurricanes, tornadoes, Earlier this year, I nearly being homeless on the streets. I nearly died in the tornado when they had tornado and hail back in April. And then I got a hotel. It was around April 17th or 18th, somewhere around there, or right before that. And then it was April 18th, and they put me in room 233, which is Masonic, and it looked like somebody was trying to break into my room. And people, other so-called targets, acting like they didn't even flinch or react. They weren't even outraged. They just were blank and didn't care. And that was my sign right there that they had betrayed me or turned against me, or, they don't like me no more. And then when I block you, then you want to be outraged. I mean, you're supposed to be a friend and then start to act different, and then, the first thing they want to bring up is all the money that they claim that they donated to me. But then you decide that you treat me like, you don't want to be friends with me no more. I mean, go off from telling me that I'm your favorite and, be super supportive of me and say that you help people, you inspire people, and, then to go around and say that you're a fraud and you're a liar and you're a scammer and you this and that when you decide to flip. So I really think, I mean, even for Hurricane Nick, they had excessive rain, and I was forced to be out during Hurricane Nick, and being forced to sleep outside in the rain. And then, when I was trying to sleep underneath the ferry, the shelter part of that little ferry, downtown ferry, somebody sent the police to run me off from there. And I had no place to sleep. And I suffered many nights with having to having no place to pee. And so trying to find a secluded dark area where hopefully nobody will see me. And risk getting caught. And they ran me off from that other spot that I've been at for at least 20 months. And so, in which all those businesses at 532 West Garden Street, they're all, and in the nearby areas, they're all run by perps. And then, like, obvious perps wanting to freaking try to gaslight me and stuff. So, it's like, I basically was trying to say, that the same way people say that, oh, artificial intelligence, that people aren't out here gang stalking you, but it's just artificial intelligence making you believe that you're being gang stalked. And so now that's another lie that they want to say, that these ignore the death threats and these targets ain't gonna kill you because you're too valuable. They've had targeted individuals who died. The transgender Lisa T.I. is one of them that died. Got murdered by a fake T.I. perp and left him naked next to the bed with no clothes on. And that fake T.I. perp, Jasmine, had preyed on Lisa T.I., offering targets to go stay there. And I was supposed to have gone up there, but I kept rejecting the offer. I didn't want to go up there because I thought that maybe Lisa T.I. might have been an exploitative fake T.I. perp to trying to lure me into human trafficking. I ain't trust nobody. So, come to find out, I guess he was a real target, and he got sacrificed. But if I would have been there, I would have been killed too. It's really scary. I dodged a bullet. But, you know, it's like when you trust no one, even the Bible tells us we can't even trust ourselves. We cannot even trust ourselves. But if you can't trust another person, then, you know, if you can't trust another human being, then people want to try to say that you got a mental problem and paranoid. But these people trying to control you and they don't have your best interest at heart, and they betray you each and every time. They betray you each and every time. And you know, you being told, you know, don't trust nobody. You can't trust nobody. I mean, because if 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 you have a sibling that turn their back on you and betray you, like once they turn their back on you and betray you, it's like you're dealing with a stranger now, and it's like you don't, like, you know, don't know who that person is anymore. You know, so let me get off my soapbox for now, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.